Welcome back, or actually, welcome. I suppose I've never done a video like this before. I'm thinking about calling it the How to Human podcast, or at least How I Human podcast. And this is just like is that podcast or like a video journal, random stream of consciousness, however you want to call it. I think before when I used to make videos, I always want to make it perfect and try and get the lighting right and edit the shit out of it, and I just don't have that time. I ain't got the time. But there's always something kind of going on in my mind that I feel like I should get out. Maybe it'll help somebody else out there. And the thing that's been like going on my mind right now is the idea of like shoulds and expectations and the ability to let go. Because like for the past year or 7-ish, 8-ish months, I don't know. I've been like putting a lot of expectations of myself to, and obviously like I'm 29, so I'm going to be 30 soon, to figure it out, to get the path right, to get finances up, to get in shape, to start business, to get more educated and more, do more, be more, have more. And after a while, it kind of gets really exhausting. I found that whenever I use the word should, the thing that I'm doing, whenever I use the word should to describe the thing that I want to do, let's say if I want to make this video, for example, and I say, I should make a video today, but that day I could have had a meeting in the morning, spent the day at work, gone to the gym, met my friend to do coursework, come back, make dinner, and then it's what, 10:30, 11, and in the back of my mind I feel like I haven't done enough today because I haven't made this video, which is something I'd hoped to do that day, which is ridiculous because I did loads that day. And even like, let's say if you picked a career, something that you were passionate about. For me, it was architecture, love design, still love buildings. I still think it's the most important thing in a city. I mean, a city can't exist without buildings. It's where life happens. But let's say you've done something like that, but it's not as fruitful as being a coder or working in insurance or, I don't know, finance bros. But it's still important. But in society, it's not as valued. And you feel like, oh, because you've done this and you don't have the things that other people have, like you failed or you're behind or you should have more by this point, and maybe you shouldn't, or maybe you can pivot, or I know you can take some time to think about what exactly you want your life to look like. And that's another thing, timelines, this idea that you should have things by a certain point. Like, says who? Like, who are you comparing to? I know people younger than me who have significantly more. I know people older than me who have less. I know people who live simple lives who are perfectly happy, and people who have loads but always want the next thing. They want to, I don't know, they want the next job, they want the next promotion, they want a house, You know who you are if you ever see this video. There's always more to get. I feel like they should have these things. And I don't know, I find life's way better if I don't look at my life with that word. If I take the time, and this is not to say you shouldn't have intentions. I have very clear intentions. I've clear aspirations and goals. Goals is a word that everyone likes to use. I have aspirations and I have daily tasks. I don't have goals because for me it's too narrow. I know how I want to feel in the future. I know the level of stability I want to have. I know how I want my home to feel like. I know how I want my career to feel like. But if I say my home has to be this size and have this many rooms and be in this place and look like this, then I might be missing out all the other opportunities that might present themselves as a cool place to live. Or my career specifically has to be this and it needs to earn this amount. And well, I like money, so it does need to earn a certain amount. But I need to be able to do this on a day, and I need to design this type of building. versus thinking about, I just want to design cool things. That's what I've always said, by the way. I've always said that I just want to design cool shit. And cool shit looks like anything. I can design a cool cafe, I can design a cool gym, I can design a cool school. And for me, the definition of cool is the people that interact with it enjoy it. It works for their needs. They feel nice, they feel good when they use it and when they interact with it. And yeah, that can be anywhere. There are really fancy restaurants here in Bristol that, look great on paper, that have all the pretty things, that have all the, I know, the flowers, the Instagrammable backgrounds, the large chandeliers and huge staircases, and are exclusive and very expensive, and I promise you they do not last long. Versus the little hole, sometimes in the back of an alley, that's like jam packed. You can see them cooking the food, and it's got like 5 seats in it. Like, some of those are my favorite places, and it's cool because it works and it serves its purpose, and it's designed in a way to support that capacity. And somebody thought about, okay, I have this space that's this small, can only fit this many people. What kind of service can I provide in this area? And that to me is cool design. So for me to say as an architect, like, oh, my dream is to design skyscrapers, here's a secret: skyscrapers are stupid. They don't make any sense. Sure, they fit a lot of real estate in a relatively small amount of area, but what's in there oftentimes is just another office for some large company that needs to spend money to take it off their balance sheet. Once they have it, then they then feel the need to fill it. A lot of skyscrapers will have things like hotels and apartments and offices and gyms and shopping centers, and it's very retrospective. It's not like all of these businesses required space. It's the developer, or sometimes even the government, simply want to create a landmark and then to figure out the use of it later. But they do know that it will probably sell. Probably a lot of large skyscrapers, especially in the UK, have empty floors, and they'll stay empty for years. Because one, people can't afford to rent them out, versus whether it's businesses or apartments, they get a lot of international investment. So as far as their return goes, maybe it's made in terms of that portion of the building. I feel like I'm going off a tangent here. Anyway, having expectations and kind of like living by those expectations, and life happens and things don't always go as planned. So when those expectations aren't met, then you're met with just a mountain of disappointment. Versus if you're intentional but somewhat flexible, then as life comes, you can flow with it. And I was pretty bad at this last year. I struggled a lot last year. I don't know why, but like the weight of all my hopes and dreams kind of came to a head where I had to like seriously like reconsider. And I don't regret it. I don't wish it didn't happen. I think that time was useful in answering the question of what I want, not what other people expected of me, not what like relationships or family or like other people's opinion as to what my life should look like. Like, fuck all that. The genuine question of what do I want. And sure, I had all these aspirations, and to be fair, most of my aspirations are the same, but I just assumed I'd get it earlier. And the fact that I didn't get it earlier isn't a problem, which I'm now starting to realize it's perfectly fine. I don't need a deadline. I don't need a fucking 10-year plan. I have goals. I have a way I want my life to look, and I have daily actions, which I do take daily. I'd argue I should learn to relax. It feels like I forgot. I think that's what shoulds have done to me in the recent months. It feels like I forgot how to relax. I'd be waking up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I don't know why. I got nothing to do at 6 a.m. on a Saturday. But I'd be like, oh, I'm up now. I need to do things. And I will. I'll do things. I'll be very productive. And then I'll come back on Monday and I'm like, why am I tired? Was it necessary? Even this video right now, I'm filming at 9:48. because I feel like I should be making content, or I should be putting myself out there in some form or fashion. And before, previously, when I was doing that, it was very scripted, wasn't the word, but it was organized, and it wasn't a stream of consciousness. It felt like I had to produce a particular thing as opposed to just chatting to the camera and seeing what happens. And maybe that's the next era of this, and it might even be more sustainable, of just like making a video and seeing what happens, and kind of clearing my mind of the clutter. Yeah, sometimes you just need to clear your mind of clutter, and then you make room for the important things, the things you actually want to focus on. You gain clarity. So yeah, in terms of like how to human, I would say don't live your life by shoulds. At least, okay, I'm not going to tell you how to do anything. This is what I do. I am no longer going to live my life by shoulds. I'm going to live my life by wants and requirements. If I want a particular job, or I want to make a move in my career, the requirement is I update my CV and I apply for jobs. Let's say if I say, oh, I need to get a new job in 6 months. If it doesn't happen in 6 months, then I'm going to be disappointed. And then what was the point? Versus, I'm going to apply for jobs until I get a new one. And that's all I can do. I can network, which I've been doing. I can update CVs. I can talk to recruiters. I can see who's around, who can make a connection. But ultimately, outside of doing that, I'm going to chill out. Because luckily, and this is a privilege I have, I'm not unemployed. I have a job and it pays relatively well. But I want to make a shift in my career, and that's totally fine. And anyone who says, oh, like, you should be doing more, or you need to be doing this, or blah, 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 blah. Like, I can only do what I can. I've got 24 hours in the day, and in that day, I do need to go to work. I do need to make meals. I do need to finish coursework. I do need to work out. I need to work out. Yeah, if I don't, and I realized this at some point last year, if I don't exercise, I go crazy. I go crazy. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, I'm a much nicer person after I lifted some heavy shit. Yeah, so all those other things are important, and there's no need to stop your entire life to simply chase one particular goal. I'm thinking about it. No, I don't believe, yeah, you don't need to stop your entire life to chase one particular goal. You don't need to alienate or judge people around you who aren't doing so. As long as you know the direction that you're heading in, like, you'll be okay. And I say this to you like I'm telling you. I'm telling myself too. Like, it will be okay. Yeah. Plan is simply to stay focused and to do my best on the daily actions that I will take. And just let go of the rest of it. Let go of the expectations, let go of the shoulds, let go of the need to get it perfect. I don't know, man. Just a black man living in England. One experience. That is an experience, man. Especially in the construction industry. Like, you will very regularly be the only one. Yeah. Like, anyone else out here thinking like their life needs to be different, or sorry, their life should be different, fuck all that, man. Do your best. Try. And if it doesn't work, try something else. As long as you keep trying, you'll be fine. And it might take longer than fucking Sally down the road, or Dave, or John, or Abdul, or Femi. Or it might be quicker than them. By the end of the day, like, you can't live their life. You might want the things that they have, but you don't want their problems. I promise you, whatever problem you have, actually, maybe that's not true. For the most part, whatever problem you have, you're glad that they're your problems as opposed to having somebody else's problems. Because as, like, annoying or irritating or mildly frustrating like my day might be, I might talk to a friend who I think is doing very well. But luckily, I have good relationships with my friend that if they're struggling, they'll tell me. I'm like, oh, that is a genuine challenge, and I'm not jealous of that situation that you're in. I would like the good things about your life, but, like, yeah, they come with their own problems, and I'm not ready for those problems. I'm dealing with my own. and my own are just fine. So yeah, it takes solace in the fact that you're wherever you are, you're exactly where you're meant to be, because that's the problem in front of you, and you can't pick a different problem to solve. That's not your problem. The one you have is the one you've got. And I think that's a better and easier and more forgiving way of looking at life. You can give yourself grace, and make no mistake, if the people around you aren't willing to give you grace, I know your situation. You might be, I don't know, you might be an addict stealing from Tesco's, in which case I understand why you've lost grace. But it's not the end of the road. As long as you're willing to look at your life and to say, hey, I don't want this situation. I would like that, a more preferable situation, one where you can aspire to, and then just look at what you can do every day, and then do it every day, or do it the majority of the days. Because for me to say like I'm top form every day and I'm the most efficient and I'm like firing in all cylinders every single day is a lie. Is a stinking lie. It's not true. Some days I'm hella productive. Some days I'll do 25,000 steps. I'll go to the gym. I'll come back. I'll write. I'll meal prep. I've done all that in one day. And the next day I'll go to the gym. Literally, this was funny. It was yesterday. Yesterday I was like, cool. Finished. I had a meeting in the morning. Went to work. Met with my friend. Did some coursework over there. Afterwards, I was like, cool, I'm going to go to the gym. Bang out chest day. I went in. I sat on that bench. I did 2 sets. One of the sets was just a bar. The second set was like 60 kilos, 20 on each side. I did a set of 8, and I was like, yeah, nah, it's not the one today. It's just not going to happen. I could have pushed it. I could have said, nah, I need to go. But I went the day before and the day before that. And I went today because I knew I was going to go today because it's part of my life. If I don't have the energy to do it yesterday, I'm not going to beat myself up and say, nah, I should have been better. Nah, I should have got more sleep. I should have eaten more. I should have drank more water. Like, pointless. Pointless. Okay? Give yourself grace. As long as you're trying your best. I think at the end of the day, you'll be okay. I don't know if anyone's going to see this. And if they do, I hope it helps. But, yeah, that is my stream of consciousness today. Might film another one tomorrow. I liked it. Yeah, I have no real plans of editing this. If I do edit it, it will be on my phone. I'm not opening Premiere. That is a headache. Alright, till next time. Take it easy. And this is How I Human.